this group really, it brings together a lot of people that are actually directly affected by cancer, so going through chemo, going through treatment, and they can come into a safe environment that's all confidential and just sort of share those experiences with each other.
Welcome to the Bailiwick Express podcast. My name is Matthew Leach. I'll be joined each week by a guest for a series of podcasts. Each will shine a light on topics from across the Bailiwick. The format will change week to week. We'll have debates, reviews, hot seat interviews and special guests. So stick with us as we offer some insight on some of the most important issues we in the Bailiwick face. Guernsey Cancer Support wants to make sure anyone affected, directly or indirectly by a cancer diagnosis, knows the group is open to them. The community peer group has been together for more than 12 years and offers people a place to discuss their concerns openly without judgement. I spoke to one of the volunteers who helps run the group, Joni de Kooker, about why the group exists and how it helps its members.
Okay, so it's called Guernsey Cancer Support, and it's a group made up of, it's for people that are affected sort of directly or indirectly by cancer. So obviously you've got people that are directly affected, which are patients, cancer patients, going through like your chemo and treatment and things like that, but it's also available for people that are supporting those people, so family members, work colleagues, anyone really that's affected by cancer itself. So it's basically quite a casual sort of group that meet, and there's various different people that go. Like I say, people that are affected, you've got sort of family members there, you can have colleagues, and sometimes professionals go, obviously, if they need advice maybe in how to manage people that they're working with. So, for example, maybe somebody that has gone to see somebody for their mental health because of obviously the strains of getting a diagnosis or something like that. So we're open really to anybody, like I say, that's indirectly or directly affected by cancer.
Okay, and you touched on it just then. I mean, what kind of help do people need? Do people want? I mean, how does this group, this community help each other?
Yeah, so I suppose if you look at it as in somebody that's suffering or just undiagnosed with cancer, then often you can feel quite alone. You can be obviously worried, what's going to happen next. You're not sure of what's available out there. So this group really, it brings together a lot of people that are actually directly affected by cancer. So going through chemo, going through treatment, and they can come into a safe environment that's all confidential and just sort of share those experiences with each other, share any advice. Anything obviously that's helped people, things that on the other hand haven't helped people, other organisations might be helpful, and then you can look at maybe people might need to go away for treatment, and they may need somebody to go with them to support them. They may just be weary of that and want some advice as to what to expect. So it's just really people that have gone through that and people that are sort of at the beginning of their journey with cancer, they can come together, discuss those things. It's like a peer group, really. You can, share ideas, share experiences, and just get some advice sort of from people that have been there, people that have dealt with it, and just, it's just to try and sort of help with that whole journey, because as you can imagine, people going through cancer, that it's a long process. And it's quite a daunting process. So our aim is to sort of be there as an informal group to help people really get through that journey and hopefully out to the other side. And, and working with families and things, it's just getting everyone involved, everyone understanding the process, and hopefully just making things a little easier, to be honest.
Am I right in thinking you do home visits and you have a helpline as well?
Yeah, so we have a helpline which is manned 24/7, which is a phone line. It's held by a committee member, and that can be accessed, like I say, anytime, 24/7. And then we also, we offer different things. So one-to-one support alongside the group support. If people wanted to come along, they can go and sit and speak to one of our committee members, to see what to expect. We sort of do like a form, what they'd like to get out of it, what they're going through. As I say, it's all 100% confidential. They don't even really need to join in with the group stuff if they don't want to. And it's just a way of just supporting them in whatever way they feel like they need support. So we're open to what they would like as well, and we try and sort of do it around the person, like an individual approach as well as a group. But the group seems a good way of people sort of being able to connect and possibly making connections outside. So meeting in the group, and then they can keep in touch with each other outside and in the week. And, people might want to WhatsApp each other or, and it's that constant communication and connection really that we're trying to strive for.
And how long has it been in operation? And was there a group like this before?
That's a good question. I knew you were going to ask me this. I'm not 100% how long it's been going. I believe it's at least been going for about 8 years, but it could potentially be longer than that. I can find that out for you. Okay. But it's been quite a long-standing thing, and we do have quite a lot of members, but we just want to reach out in the community to say that we are here. And maybe there's some younger people that might not know that we're available, or just people in general that haven't heard about us, and just try and explain that there are people here outside of the sort of medical profession that can help. I mean, everyone within the committee has had indirect or direct effect of cancer. So there's been a few of the committee that have actually had cancer themselves. Personally, myself, I've had quite a lot of family members that have had cancer. So we're quite well informed. And from our own and shared experiences, I think we've got quite a lot to offer for people that might not know where to go or where to turn. There are other groups on Ireland support the cancer, but yes, we're sort of independent from that, I guess.
And so you mentioned there you had family members with cancer. Is this why you got involved in the first place?
Yeah, so actually 2 of my family members are in the committee, and I had been going along to their charity Christmas meal for about 3 or 4 years. And they approached me this year and asked me if I'd like to come on board because they think like I'd have quite a lot to offer in regards to my personal experience. I also have worked in mental health, and just it's nice to give something back, I think. And I think when you've experienced cancer, which many of us have, there's not many people that haven't been affected by cancer, I would say. It's important, and you know how people feel and how overwhelming it can be. And I think it's important that people will have somewhere to go and somewhere they can speak in a safe environment to be able to just get the right information and to make friends at the same time.
So is it completely run by volunteers?
Yes, yeah. So it's completely volunteer based. And then we do our meetings, but alongside that, the volunteers actually can do like lifts for people if they need to. And actually, from this year, we've started to be sponsored by Specsavers for the next 2 years, which is amazing. So with that, there's a lot more opportunity of Specsavers helping out with certain things, and we're hoping to be able to offer a little bit more to people or support in the community, things that obviously a small group that some of us still work full time might not have been able to do before. So it's actually quite exciting, the opportunities that come along with being sponsored by Specsavers. Actually, it is like a watch this space. We're hoping to do a bit more like social events. So obviously we do have the meetings, which are very informal, but we're hoping to do some more sort of light-hearted things, like go out and maybe do a bit of pétanque or some skittles possibly. We're open to ideas from people as to what they'd like to do. Maybe do, group meals, things that are just nice things that sort of can take your mind of what you're going through as well. So there are morning meetings held at the Coatheels, which happen the first Thursday of every month from 10:30 a.m. And then we have our evening meetings, which are at Coatheels as well, which is the third Thursday of every month from 7:30 p.m. But there is usually somebody around from about 7 o'clock for the evening one. So if new members wanted to come along, they can come along from 7 o'clock, sort of have an informal chat with somebody first, sit in on the meeting. They may decide they don't want to do that at first, so they can chat to somebody on their own, and then they might want to come in a few weeks later or something, just after they've got the information. And then we have our support line, which I mentioned earlier, which can be contacted on 07839 206 857. As I say, that's run 24/7 by a volunteer. And then obviously they can get in touch via social media. So we've got our Facebook page, which is Guernsey Cancer Support. We've got our Instagram page, which is a new thing, which is Guernsey Cancer Support. And then we also do have a Twitter, which is GY Cancer Support. And they can reach out on any of those platforms and get in touch with anybody via those links or via the phone, or they can email. But yes, obviously if they wanted to come along, or if they wanted to phone first, I mean, the volunteers are brilliant. They will sort of go out of their way to meet people's needs. So if they wanted to meet somebody first before coming along, that's absolutely fine. We do what we can really to help support and get people to come along, because like I say, once they do, it's a brilliant organisation for people to just get that little bit of extra support, but in an informal way. And I think that's really important.
Thank you for listening to the Bailiwick Express podcast. The title track was Shift My Weight by Luno. If you enjoyed it, I know it's a pain, but please like and share. It all helps. And remember, you can hit bailiwickexpress.com to stay right up to date with whatever is happening in the Bailiwick. You can find us online, on social, on email and on internet radio. There'll be more from me, Matthew Leach and all the Bailiwick Express team next Friday.